Good morning, guys. My name is Jason. I am the founder of Distress Loan Advisors. If you are interested in booking a case evaluation, there is a link in the notes below. All right. I'm not going to bury the lead here. The title of this article is If Your EIDL Loan Has Been Charged Off the Treasury, I have 4 words for you. Those 4 words are... Gracie, do you know what those words are? She does not. The 4 words are, get it in writing. Here's what I'm talking about. Since people started getting letters from the Treasury, I've gotten tons of calls from people wondering, can I get it pulled back? And I've referenced this in other videos, but today I want to specifically focus on a couple of instances that I've seen that potentially could save you a bunch of money here. So when these Treasury letters first came out, I did have a guy call me and he said, oh yeah, I called the SBA and said, can I bring this current? And they said something to the extent of, yeah, we'll give you, this one opportunity to do it. If you bring it current, we'll pull it back from the Treasury. So I never actually heard back from that guy, so I don't know how it played out. But since I had that conversation with that particular gentleman, I've spoken with several others and then had others make comments on my YouTube videos, and I've seen it on forums where basically here's what's happened to a number of people. Like the first gentleman that I referenced, they called the SBA after they received a letter that said they had been referred to the Treasury, and the SBA told them, yeah, bring it current and then let us know, and then we can reflect it in the system. In each of those instances, guys, people made the payments and then followed up with the SBA only to be told, sorry, it's at the Treasury, there's nothing we can do. So in other words, these people really got screwed. I had this, and I think I referenced it in the other video, but he got a letter last December that he was late, and he's not disputing that he was late, but he got a letter from the SBA, and they said, you owe us $21,000 and change. And so he followed up in early January, called them, and said, okay, I'd like to bring this current. Can you tell me the exact amount I need to pay you to bring it current? People at the SBA couldn't give him an exact number and said, you need to get it off the portal. So he went on the portal, poked around, and, as many of you know, there seem to be a lot of technical glitches and flaws in their servicing system where stuff is all messed up in terms of whether it's showing as current. And in this particular case, he said there was nowhere on there that he could see that showed him the exact amount he needed to pay to bring it current. So he bumped up the number a little bit. So instead of 21 and change, he sent them $22,000, thinking that he was going to get it pulled back from the Treasury. It would get rid of that 28% penalty, and he could just resume regular payments. So he makes the payment. He actually follows up and sends the SBA an email and says, I've made the payment. Can you please reflect this as current? The SBA actually emailed him back and said, sorry, we can't do that because it's not actually current. And he responded and said, okay, how much do I need to pay to bring it current? No one ever responded. Next thing he knows, still at the Treasury. And now when he calls back, the SBA is telling him, sorry, it's at the Treasury, there's nothing we can do. Talk about a raw deal. So again, at this point, I've heard that story a number of times. I've seen people basically say that they were shown in the system as charged off, or they got a letter. It's one or the other. And when they say to the SBA, is it too late? The people at the SBA, I mean, all I can say is I guess their view is it's not my money. Might as well make the payment and see if it works out for them. Not such a great deal for the entrepreneur, though, is it? And so I would say, while we're all hopeful that maybe at some point these things can get pulled back to be brought current, at this point I've seen no evidence that they're willing to do that. So if you're going to do that, if it were me, I would make sure that I get it in writing from the SBA. So if you talk to someone, you're not going to be able to prove down the line unless you have a recording, which, by the way, it's not legal in all states to record someone without their consent. So careful with that. But, if you talk to someone and they tell you, yes, if you make a payment of, insert dollar here, that they'll resume regular servicing, I would ask them to send you an email confirming how much you need to pay and by what date, and just confirming that the SBA will honor that. Because otherwise, I'm seeing these really upsetting stories of people who had to scrape together this money that really was hard to do, and now they're at the Treasury with no good options, and they're out a whole bunch of money. So if that changes at some point, if I start hearing about actual situations where someone has either been shown as charged off or actually got a letter from the Treasury and still got it back to regular servicing, I'll share that. But as of now, I haven't heard of anything like that. So that's it. I just wanted to give you guys a word of warning. That is what I'm seeing. As we know, this is a developing situation as the SBA figures out how they're going to service these things. So, but as of now, that's what I've seen, and I have not seen anybody successfully basically get it out of charge-off status by making the payment. And the really sad part is the SBA can't tell you once it's shown as charged off. They have no idea when it's actually going to the Treasury. It's a mystery to them. So just be careful. If you're going to make payments to bring it current, like I said, at very least get it in writing. Otherwise, I'd be skeptical of whether or not they're accurate in telling you that you should go ahead and make the payment. Feel free to comment below. I always like to hear what your experiences are and if it's different than what I've been seeing. And of course, as always, I can take that information and come back and make another video and let people know exactly what I'm seeing and what the rest of you are seeing. So that's it. Thanks for checking in. We'll see you on the next one.